Is money one of the biggest stressors in your real estate business? It used to be in mine. I got to the point where I had to do something different, so this is what I did. I started my real estate business in 2016, and I am a realtor, so I buy and sell houses. I don't do anything else, no property management, nothing besides YouTube and real estate. The first 3 years in our business honestly weren't too bad. Our first year in real estate, we ended up doing 24 transactions. So I'm in Oklahoma, and my average price point at that time was around $160,000 per transaction for a total house. We ended up doing 32 transactions our second year in real estate as well. So that was 2017 and 2018. The most horrifying part of this though is that I would lay awake and worry about how much money we had, where it was going, if we had already spent commission checks that we hadn't got yet. Like, these things really freaked me out. I brought up my fears to my real estate coach at the time. This was in 2019. I was still really freaked out. We were doing quite a bit of business, but I felt like we didn't have enough money. So I brought up these fears to my real estate coach, and he said, okay, well, let's go over your profit and loss statement. And so we did. And in looking at our profit and loss statement with him, he said oh, well, you are profiting. Your business is profitable. But then whenever I would look at the cash line on that profit and loss statement, it said negative $20,000. And I was not okay with that. It really made no sense to me. And I know why it made sense to him. It's because with the system that we were following with the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, this is a Millionaire Real Estate Agent. You've probably read it or at least seen it if you're a real estate agent. And it's a great book. Don't get me wrong. This book is fantastic. But the money system in here is a lagging indicator, not a leading indicator. So what does that mean? What does it mean that that system is a lagging indicator? Well, it means that it tells me how much I've already spent and not how much I already have. So it's a 30-30-40 system where 30% of your expenses are your cost of sales, 30% are your business expenses, and 40% should be your profit. And that 40% of your profit is technically what you're paying yourself. I didn't like that very much. I wanted to see how much money I had before I had the opportunity to spend it. So I went off in search of a system that could help me do that. I ended up picking up a book called Profit First by Mike McAlevitz. Here's the book. I hate book covers like jackets, so it's gone, but this is the book. The actual cover looks like this. I would suggest getting yourself a hard copy and not listening to it on Audible. I mean, you can listen to it on Audible, but it's hard because you need all of the directions that he has for the system in the book. I don't know how I came across this book, but all I know is I'm really, really glad that I found it. So in this intro, he's telling stories of these people who were having big money problems and then implemented his system called Profit First and ended up being able to live the lives that they wanted. Their businesses ended up giving them freedom, which is what I wanted. Chapter 1 is called Your Business is an Out of Control Cash Eating Monster. This chapter outlined mistakes that the author, Mike, made whenever he sold a business and had all of this money, and he ended up just spending it all. So he ends up living paycheck to paycheck, but he describes it as panic to panic. And that I absolutely identified with. I felt panicked all the time. So I read the whole book before I went back and started implementing the system in my business, because I need an overview. I need to understand how the system is supposed to work. So let me give you an overview of how this system is supposed to work in case you don't want to commit to reading the book yet, but you're gonna want to. So let's go. This is what the system is. This is what it's gonna look like for you. So you've got 5 bank accounts, 5 of them, yes, and they're all checking accounts. You're gonna name those checking accounts because you have to name them or you're gonna get them mixed up all the time. You're gonna name them in the app on your phone. You're gonna name them income, profit, tax, operating expenses, and owner compensation. For each account, there's gonna be a percentage assigned. I'm gonna show you what those percentages would be if you were grossing less than $250,000 per year. So here are your 5 accounts. You have income, and that one's gonna be at 100%, profit at 5%, tax at 15%, operating expenses at 30%, and owner compensation at 50%. So twice a month, whenever you get a commission check, you're gonna put that commission check into your income account. All of it. Don't remove anything. So we're gonna play with an example. So let's say you got a commission check for $10,000. So you're gonna put $10,000 into your income account. And then twice per month, you're gonna, I move the money around. That's what I do. So twice per month, I'm going to take the 10% and put the percentages associated with the other accounts. I'm gonna move that $10,000 into these other accounts according to the percentages. So that means I'm gonna put $500 into the profit account. I'm gonna put $1,500 into the tax account. I'm gonna put $3,000 into my operating expense account, and then $5,000 into owner compensation. So I take the $10,000 and do the percentages and move the money. Now let me be clear. These are all still business accounts. These are all still checking accounts associated to your business. You haven't moved any of this money yet, or I haven't moved any of it yet, but I'm doing this into my personal accounts at all. Not yet. So then here's what you do with this money. Let's start with owner compensation. So starting at the bottom of our list here, owner compensation is exactly what it sounds like. You're paying yourself with this account. It's your salary, sort of, but not the whole thing. Because if you're a realtor, most likely your months are going to be different. So historically, my February is way worse in terms of commission than my June. So I might make $10,000 in February and $50,000 in June. That's wildly different. So what this means is you need to have a decent idea of the amount of money that you need each month to live. Now, that amount, I started off with our business, when we started doing this system, we started paying ourselves $4,000 a month. And now we pay ourselves way more than that because the system worked for us and we grew organically from it. So you do get to give yourselves, I gave myself a raise whenever I could, but I didn't do that until I absolutely could. Next is the operating expense. So that's this account, this $3,000 that we played with here. So this is where you're gonna pay, this is where I pay all of my business expenses. We're talking about all of our education bills, all of our, all those realtor board, dues, all the MLS dues, my Oklahoma real estate commission dues. This is where I pay my office bill, my copy bill, all of my marketing, all of my YouTube stuff. All of it comes out of this account. You can pay your health insurance out of it. You can pay if you have a phone bill, because that's a business expense. You can pay that out of it. This is all of your business expenses. It's also where I pay my 2 assistants. And depending on how my transaction coordinator is working, it's where I pay her as well. Okay, so the tax account, this is something truly special. So you'll open up this tax account at this bank where your other accounts are. But then, my cat just walked in the room. But then you're gonna open up another account for taxes at a different bank, and you're not gonna download the app for that bank because you don't wanna know how much money you have for it. So whenever I move my tax account money into this account here at this first bank, then I'm gonna move it into a second bank where I can't see that money so that I don't steal from myself. Because guess what? This money doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Uncle Sam. It belongs to the federal government and the state government. We're gonna talk more about this tax account in another video. And the last one we're talking about is the profit account. Now this is my absolute favorite, and it will be yours too if you choose to do this system. So here's the thing about this whole system. It is absolutely the long game. So I started this in 2019 and now it's 2023. And at the beginning I didn't have thousands of dollars in these accounts, but now I do. The profit account is for fun. You do not reinvest this money. Now you can pay off debt with it, which we can absolutely talk about in another video. If you want to hear more about how to pay off debt with your profit account, please go ahead and comment and we can make that video. So what do you do with this account? Well, 4 times per year, on January 1, April 1, July 1, and October 1, the first day of every new quarter, you're gonna go to the bank. and you're gonna ask them how much money's in this account. And if it's $400, that's what mine was the very first time I did this. I said, okay, it's $400. So I said, I want to withdraw $200 in cash, please. And they gave me $200 in cash. And then me and Handsome's my husband. We do real estate together. Then we went to our favorite sushi restaurant and had a really nice sushi dinner with our $200 because we earned it. Because real estate is really hard. And you probably got into this business like I did to have some fun. And so that's what we did. So that was in 2019. That was October 1, 2019 that I was able to take out $200 and then spend it on something fun. So my next withdrawal for my profit is January 1 of 2023. And I'm gonna get to withdraw more than $4,000. And that, my friends, will pay for a whole Europe trip. I think by this point, you may be able to see how this system totally freed my mind from all of my money worries. Well, not all of them. There's still some worries. Don't worry about that. But it really helped me understand how much money I had. Because guess what? Like, I can just open up those 5 accounts in my app, and especially my operating expenses and my owner compensation account, and I can literally see how much money I have. Like, for my owner compensation account, like, how many months is that gonna last me? So if I do feel like I don't have enough transactions or commissions coming in, then I know how many months I can last without that becoming a problem, which is amazing. Because how do we know how much money we have all the time? We just open up our bank account and look. And that's all you have to do in this system. That's why it's a leading indicator in your business instead of the lagging indicator like that profit and loss sheet. It takes a while to get the system going for sure, but when it does get going, the sky is the limit. Willa, come here, come here, come here. What are you doing? Okay, we'll play in a minute. Boop, 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 boop. In the next video, we're gonna talk about how you're gonna put this into place because you don't start off with these percentages in your accounts. I definitely did not. So I'm gonna walk you through how you would put this into place if you wanted to. And I'm basically gonna show you how I did it. And I wasn't a new agent when I did this. So hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you don't miss the next video. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.